Okay, now this is one of my favorite topics. It's pretty complex until you get it. It's just, you see the theme here. Once you do it once or twice, you're gonna be like, okay, it's not that scary. And that starts with knowledge. Knowledge is power, and information is kind of the link between you and knowing what you want to know. So let's start with our next topic, which is finding the buyer. I'm going to say buyers because sometimes there's multiple. Now, there's a lot of different ways to skin this cat, guys. First things first, you need to be building your communities. I have mentioned so many times how you need to be networking, you need to be posting, you need to be active on social media, just kind of explaining what you're doing, what you're trying to do to get people to know, like, and trust you. Even if it's just putting a video like this onto the internet, it's a really, really powerful tool. Come on, guys, we're living in the future. So put the word out there on what you're doing. You're finding really great deals, and you're helping a lot of sellers actually get top dollar for their property. Whatever it is, you know, put that word out there. So finding your buyers. One of the best and easiest things you can do, let's say if you don't have a bunch of money, is let's say you're shopping a county. This is a county in a state. You want to go to like Zillow or Redfin and see who's buying property right now. Let's say there's a couple of main roads that are going through the county. You find your comps, you find a bunch of properties in here, and you can go and see who's buying these properties. Once you have that, you start to build something called a buyer's list. And this isn't something where you just enter people's information into an Excel sheet. You actually call this person who bought this property and say like, hey, what's going on? I noticed that you bought this property down the road from one that I have. And I was just curious, are you a developer? Are you looking for more land in the area? What's going on? What's the story? Just introduce yourself. Don't be weird, guys. Just be nice and be like offering a bunch of value. See if it's something that you could bring to them. Like, hey, you don't have property, but I see that you're buying it. Maybe you have just a little bit and you want more. A lot of people who own land, they want more. They're collectors. They're weird like me. They collect weird things and they want as much of it as possible. They want unique land. They want land that's just, you know, maybe you can't use it for development. It's an awesome recreational tract. You want to duck hunt, you want to deer hunt, you just want some land. Most people who own one, they want more. They want to own more properties. So as weird as that sounds, cold calling people who are buying in the county that you're marketing to, it's not a bad strategy. Now, something else that's really good is Facebook groups. And I mentioned this on finding deals, finding leads. You can also do this to find buyers. If you go into like RV parks for sale or North Carolina mountain properties for sale, mountain ranches for sale, you start to see who's a little bit more active in there, who's posting, hey, I'm looking for this, looking for that. And you might be like really surprised if you go in and put a picture, an introductory post that says, hey guys, what's up? New to the area, just wanted to let y'all know I have a ton of properties here in this county that people want to sell at a discount. I'm wondering if I could build my buyer's list and, you know, really provide value to you guys by giving you off-market deals before I bring them to the marketplace. Please shoot me a text. Please give me a call. Please schedule a time for us to connect on Calendly or something like that. And that's a great way to start getting organic buyers who are super interested in the offers that you provide. So the Facebook groups, buyers list. One of the next one, I've talked about this so many times, guys. If you're not doing it already, you need to start, is social media. We all lack on this. Even the best of the best are like, gosh, I just need to be posting more content. And I need to be doing more because it's a free tool. You can pay for a little bit extra attention. But these, all three of these are free tools that you can have access to where you can start building your list organically. Just put out valuable content that says, here's how you underwrite a deal. Here's the deal that I just bought. Here's this, that, or whatever. And you'll get people that start adding themselves into your buyer's list. Make it super, super easy. Add a link tree to your bio and make it so that they can go fill out a form to say, this is what I'm looking for, this is why, here's what I'm trying to do. Just start having conversations with buyers. It's so important. But this all starts with taking action. And if you're not doing that, which I can tell you are by, if you've watched this to this point, you're taking action. So take action, learn, have conversations, talk to people, and see what you got to do to bring value to as many people as possible. Clone yourself, scale your business. Even if it's just you, your solo team, just be honest with people. Say, hey, look, I have a lot to bring to the table. I'm just trying to figure out the best use of my time. So I'm getting access to a lot of people who are selling their property. Now I'm just looking for people who are really looking for really good deals on their properties. So what questions you got for finding buyers?
Is there like, with finding buyers, is there anything like red flag words? Like when you're talking to someone, when you're like, don't say these words, or like, these are the words you say, like, that you should talk about something.
Totally. So when you're talking to buyers, at this point, this shouldn't be your first step. You should at least have an idea of what a deal looks like or what a deal feels like. Hold someone's hand, JV on a deal to like work through one before you actually start aggressively building your buyers list, because you're going to find people who are going to try to like scam you here. They'll try to wholesale your deals. They'll daisy chain where they'll be like, okay, this person has Grandma Susie's property at 100K and they think it's only worth 200K, but I know for a fact because I'm more experienced that it's worth 350K. So I'm going to go buy it from them at 200K and I'm going to make, 150,000. Not necessarily a problem. Not necessarily a problem, but sometimes in this process, you'll be like, yeah, here's my contract. Here's what I got. Here's where me and Grandma Susie are at. Here's the property. And a really experienced wholesaler or an investor can go in and undercut you from the deal. If they know you don't have capital, they know you don't have money, they'll just wait until your guys' little contract expires and they'll be like, all right, I'm going to approach Grandma Susie. I'll show her a proof of funds and I'll do it the right way to actually get the deal done, and they'll steal the deal from you. So I would definitely, when you're finding a buyers, like you're finding the buyers, you're building your buyers list, be wary and be just not necessarily overcautious, but definitely be like careful with where you step and who you talk to and how you present yourself and how much information you give. I come from a marketing background, so I like to just show the little tip, just the tip of the iceberg. Just enough information to get people super excited and ask for more questions. Like they'll give me a bunch of information back and forth without having me like give them everything, because I know that you can kind of you can put yourself at risk and be vulnerable if you give too much information about the property or the deal or yourself, really. So, any other questions? Gosh, what if my next masterclass I have just people sitting up there and people sitting down here? That'd be fun. That will be fun. All right, finding the buyers. Start building your buyers list organically.